Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Knitscents. I am Jan, your host. I can be found as Jan Ellen RN on Ravelry and on Twitter and Instagram. And we have a Ravelry group called Knitscents. And all of my other links and whatever I will list below, so you can pretty much find me everywhere. This is the episode that almost wasn't. I don't even have my notes, so we're just literally going to be winging this one. It was kind of one of those weeks that you really don't want to live again. When I recorded last Friday, they were coming the next day to dig to put in my new septic system. And what they described to me was they were going to dig in one spot, and that's where it was all going to go. They could not have been any more wrong. First of all, within the first 15 minutes they were here, they broke the water main that comes into the house. So the first hole that they dug was rapidly filling with water. So we had to get in an emergency plumber to, I don't know what he had to do, but at any rate, he had to make that fix. And that was within an hour of their coming. And by the end of the day on Saturday, and I will try to post some pictures at some point, so if I can manage to put them in, I will. But at any rate, by the end of the day Saturday, they had not only ripped up the blacktop and the side where they said they were going to dig, but they ripped up, and it is now all dirt, the entire back of the house. All right, I kind of got it through my head. It's a clean slate where we'll just deal with it. And they came back the next day. Yes, who knew they'd come on a Sunday? And proceeded to literally, my yard is on the side of my house, and it's just dirt. From one end to the other end of the yard is dug up. It's just dirt. They trenched through a hole. It's just a mess. And basically, I'm going to have to live with the dirt until at least next spring, because the ground has to settle before I can do anything. Too much information, but trust me to say it was a very aggravating experience. And then the next day, I thought I had allergies. It turned into a huge sinus infection with the migraine headache, the whole 9 yards. So I really wasn't even going to record today, but I figured if I waited a day or two and recorded Saturday or Sunday, that would only give me 4 days to show that I still have nothing for the next one, and I didn't want to get off schedule. So the bottom line is I'm recording. I don't have very much. This may be a very short episode, but I'm feeling a little bit better, which is good. My head is still throbbing, but what the heck. And here I am. So this week's episode, we will have I already did some housekeeping, whatever other housekeeping, like administrative housekeeping, will all be linked below. So I have very little knitting. I did make a little progress on the 2 items I was working on, but not very much. I have some Scentsy business because I did get some items in that are from the new catalog, and I really would love to show them because I'm really so pleased. They're really, really nice. So I'd like to show some of those. I have no spinning. I don't think I have much of anything else except a big fat headache from everything that's gone on here, but the week is almost over and we will start fresh next week. So without any more, stuff, let's get into the Scentsy stuff because that always makes me happy. So we'll start with that. First thing, the warmer of the month that I showed you in last week's episode, that really pretty cream colored pumpkin, it's sold out. And warmer of the months are only available in limited quantities. So when they do sell out, they are gone. They generally, occasionally they do, but they generally don't bring it back. So instead, for the remainder of this month, and it's funny, I had shown this one in a previous episode, but this little guy here, it's the warmer called Bewitched, and it is this really, really cute orange jack-o'-lantern with a purple witch's hat on him. And he will be on sale for 10% off until the end of this month. So it's $31.50 from now until September 30th. My brain is a little foggy today, so bear with me, please. So that's instead of the warmer of the month, which is gone, we will have that one. The other unfortunate thing this week was that somehow my warmer of the month for October, which was supposed to have come this last week, has not arrived yet. But it did ship, so it will be here on Tuesday. So again, hopefully I will do an unboxing video for that. If not, then I will show it on my podcast on Friday, because I am already in love with it. I'm already planning on getting a second one because I can tell that one of these options, if that's a hint, will not be enough for me. Again, if you didn't catch it in the last one, this is definitely calling all sports fans. If you have a particular sport that you love, or if you have several particular sports that you love, you might want to take a look at this one, because without giving too much away until I actually get it and can show it, it's definitely going to appeal to several different kinds of sports fans. So hopefully that will be coming up this week and I will be able to show that. But I did get some of the items that I ordered, and I'd really love to share them with you because I am more than a little pleased with what I got, and with really how nice they came out. So the first thing I wanted to show, I had spoken about this in the catalog, and I had to go and order one for myself. And this is Bernie the Buddyfly, and what he is he is the cause product for Scentsy for this catalog. And what the cause product is Scentsy in each of the catalogs chooses a charitable cause that they pick one product for, and they sell it and then donate directly to the cause from each sale of the item. Bernie the Buddyfly is our cause product for Autism Speaks, which, if any of you are familiar with the organization Autism Speaks, they do wonderful, wonderful things for not only adults and children that are on the autism spectrum, but they also enable families, loved ones, to care for adults and children that do suffer from or being on the autism spectrum. And they do not only wonderful, wonderful things, but they post, if you want to check them out on Facebook, some of the most inspiring videos that I've really ever seen. and it's truly remarkable what they accomplish worldwide. So just so you know, when you purchase the cause product, in this case Bernie the Butterfly, $8 of every sale is donated directly to Autism Speaks. Not after profit, it's $8 per purchase that is donated to Autism Speaks. And there's a couple of things I want to show you about Bernie the Butterfly. First of all, if you look on the side, he has the puzzle piece for symbolic of autism, or those with autism, which I think is really, really nice that they include that on the buddy. I wanted to show you the size of this buddy. He's pretty big. He is a nice sized toy for children, especially if you know a child that is on the autism spectrum. Then you may know that children with autism or certain types of classifications on the spectrum do become very, very attached to some things. And I think that may be why Scentsy chose to use a kid-friendly buddy this time for this particular cause and organization. So here is Bernie. His wings allow him to take flight, which is something that we want all of our children that are on the spectrum to be able to do, to fly on their own wings and to accomplish what they want to accomplish, which is wonderful. Being a Scentsy buddy, if you're not familiar with Scentsy buddies, what they are is there is this zipper. Let me see if I can show you the back. Okay, no buttons, nothing that can fall off, nothing along those lines. But there's a pouch in the back of the buddy. And what you do, and each of these buddies comes with your choice of scent packs. And this is what's called a scent pack, and basically it is filled with non-toxic. If you ate them, nothing is going to happen if it broke open. They're absolutely food grade, totally harmless. But again, personally, I probably wouldn't give this to a child under the age of 3, but that's just me. I mean, you could give it to a baby, stick it in the crib, nothing's going to happen. But when they're at that age of sticking things in their mouth, I mean, I know it's safe. It's absolutely not going to hurt or harm anybody, but it also probably isn't going to taste very good. So I probably wouldn't give this to a child 1 to 3 years old. Nobody under 3. But that's just my opinion. They say you can. I wouldn't. Anyway, what you do is you take this scent pack, and it comes in the fragrance that you choose. There are several options available, and you basically put this scent pack in the back of the buddy, and you zip them back up. If you can find where his little zipper is. Hold on. Told you I'm running in reverse today. Okay. Here we go. You zip him back up, and he has a very light fragrance, depending again on which one you choose. I actually have French lavender in here, and if you put him a fair enough distance away, it's not going to overwhelm you. It's not going to smell all that strong. But if a child is holding him, you can definitely smell it. There are several kid-friendly scent packs that you can choose from. But I do also want to point out that if you have a child that is too young, or you think is too young, don't use this. Take it out, put it in your lingerie drawer, put it in your closet. You don't have to use it. It's not mandatory. You zip them back up, and here's your Bernie the Butterfly. No scents, no smell, and he's perfectly appropriate for any age child. So that's Bernie the Butterfly. I wanted you to take a look and see him up close. He's as soft can be. And again, if your child doesn't want it, or if you don't want it in there, you don't have to put the scent pack in, but it really is a nice thing. The other thing, and for us knitters, this was kind of like a no-brainer. I had to have it. This is Lenny the lamb. And these are a new product also for Scentsy. They're buddy clips. Okay, so they're definitely not, they're much smaller than Bernie the Butterfly. Bernie, I believe, is $35. And I think, I'd have to check, I think these are 12 or 15. And what they are is they are already filled with very safe, again, non-toxic, food grade, little pellet things that are pre-scented. And each of these buddy clips comes pre-filled with its own fragrance. Lenny the Lamb came with Jammy Time, which is one of the new kids fragrances, and it happens to be my favorite. I absolutely love this scent. And what these are great for is for clipping on backpacks. Send your kid to school, clip this on their backpack. If you happen to be me, you clip it on your knitting bag. They're absolutely just adorable. And the perfect size to clip on your knitting bag, to take to school for a child. And they're just soft, soft, soft. So again, these are great for gifts. If you are looking for little gifts for stocking stuffers, yes, it's almost that time already. If you're looking for something, if you have a special child that you know comes to your door for Halloween, this is a great, great choice of something to give other than candy. They're just absolutely adorable. Several of them, they just came out, and several of them have already sold out. So if there's one that you really, really love, get it. You won't be sorry. They're very inexpensive, and if you don't, they're great for gifts that come up. If you have somebody who's having a baby and you need to get a baby gift and you want to get something for an older sibling, this would be a perfect gift. Absolutely perfect gift. So that's the other thing. Now, two other things I got were two new style of plugins. And I had not gone over, I've shown several of the warmers that I've gotten, but I've not shown any of the plugins. And I have, I'll just grab the other one. Okay. I just got two new ones. These are new styles, just came out in September, and I absolutely love these. I am in love with this. This is the first one, and it is called Italian Rooster. And I plugged it in. So hopefully this is going to light up, except that I don't think it's going to light up because you can't be kidding me. How did I do this last time? It's got the ground on it. And unfortunately, okay, we're not going down the blooper road again. Okay, we're absolutely not going down the blooper road again. I'm not. One day I'm going to really get the hang of this, and I'm not going to have any bloopers, boo-boos, accidents happen during these podcasts. And I can only say that I probably should have waited a day or two to do this, but it's live. Okay. Italian Rooster. Okay. And this is a plugin. What the plugins do, the other warmers that I've shown you have a long cord with a rolling on-off switch on the cord. The plugins, as we saw, do not. They are in two pieces. There is a base, which comes separately, and you hook this ceramic warmer piece onto it. And the one thing that I do like about this is the ability to change the direction. So if your outlets are sideways, it doesn't make a difference, because obviously the wax has to be at the top or you're going to have kind of a mess. But you can change the direction so that you can turn it either way and it will work perfectly. And this is what the Italian Rooster looks like when it's plugged in. The front really doesn't have the light. The light is coming out of the sides, and it's only through these openings here. The rooster sits in the front, and what I like about the nightlight warmers is, first of all, you only need to put in 1 cube of wax in these. The capacity, I mean, you could put 2 in, but I'm not sure you're going to get any more of a scent throw from putting in 2, so you really should only put 1 cube in these warmers. And they come with, I'm going to just take this one apart, I believe this is a 10-watt bulb. I'm not sure if it's 10 or 15, but it comes with it. And it also comes with this little plastic disc. It's popping up here, which is great, because what that does is, if your particular warmer isn't sitting flush, you pop that disc on and it will not move. Okay, it's totally in there sturdy. It's not going to move around, it's not gonna wiggle, it's in there safe and secure. And again, the on-off switch is right in the front, and I actually got this one and I use it in my kitchen, okay, because I just love roosters, and I think that one is absolutely adorable. So that's one of the ones I got, the nightlight warmers. The other one, I have to say, is my favorite. I love the rooster. This one is my favorite. This one started out, it was a warmer of the month, I want to say last June, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But it was actually a warmer of the month, meaning a full-size warmer. It sold out in a heartbeat, and it was one of the scent warmer of the months that was so popular and so requested after it sold out, that they did bring that one back, and it is now in the permanent, well, permanent as you can get, but it is still in the lineup, and you can still order it. But this September, in the new catalog, they came out with it in nightlight size. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to read what it says. Let's see if we can get up there. But essentially what it says is, remember to stop and chase the fireflies. And what it's shaped like a mason jar, only the top does not come off. Okay, but it is very easy to pop out the wax. Again, it's the same type of warmer. You have this ceramic piece which pops onto the base. The switch is in the front, but you'll see when you plug this one in, it is just absolutely gorgeous. Okay, this one glows completely from within, and it's really hard to tell on this one, but because it seems bright on here, it's really actually not this bright. In person, it's very subdued, and it actually looks like it's glowing. You can read what's written on here when you're looking at it. You can't really through this, but where you do see the light is there are little fireflies in front of every one of these openings. I know it's very hard to see, but there are fireflies. And what it does when it lights up, this does glow, but it's nowhere near as bright as it's showing on here. It just seems to be glowing from inside, but the tail of each of the fireflies lights up. And it is just, I'm charming. It is just one of the most charming warmers I've seen. So if this is something, a look that you're interested in, you might want the nightlight one. You can get this in a full-size warmer, which is absolutely beautiful. It's lovely. Like I said, it was so hard for the first few months that they had this to keep it in stock, and it was so loved that this time they came out with it in a nightlight warmer, which I couldn't resist that one. So that's that. And I think that is the end of all of the Scentsy stuff I have. Have more than that than knitting, because I was absolutely a slacker this week. But I do have some. So on to the knitting. I made a little bit of progress on my Painted Desert, which is a pattern by Carol Sunday. And what I did was I finished the, let's see if I can hold this up now. I finished the stars, which you can see, and I'm almost finished with the second set of stripes. So after this second set, I will begin another chart with a different pattern on it, which is chart C. I just don't have the exact design handy. But this to me was a little bit more challenging, and I'm not sure. I'm going to try to really hold it up and see if you can see the puckering. Now, I had changed my stranding in the back fairly often, and I thought I did on this very end here, but now I'm thinking I probably didn't either change it enough, or more likely I just pulled my floats too tight. So I'm not sure if I want to rip this back or if I want to just keep on going and pray that it will come out in the blocking. So if you have any thoughts, let me know if this has happened to you, or if you can really take a look at it and see. Try to get that up there. If you can tell if it's too tight or if that's something that will block out. But I'd really appreciate it if if you can, tell me what you think. All right, is this something worth blocking out, or should I just leave it? But in any case, the stripy parts are really simple. This bottom design here was very simple. I'm not too sure about this top half, because the bottom of the stars you can actually see is totally nice and flat here. It's just got right here at this top, and you can see it was just all this light blue color and then a couple of stitches of this dark charcoal that I had to weave through. So again, I'm not sure. I love the pattern. I'm loving the yarn. I'm loving the knit. I don't know that I'll love it so much if I have to rip all that out, but let me know what you think. So that's pretty much all the progress I made on that. And then I did finish, well, almost finished, Clue 1. No, actually, I think I did it again. I hate to tell you how many times I've pulled this out of the bag and dropped all the stitches. So here we go again. I'm obviously inept at doing this. I'm not even going to fix it. Whatever. But I did finish Clue 1. Okay. If you're doing this and you don't want a spoiler, step away. Go away. We'll do the hands when I'm done. There really isn't too much more to show than last week, but I'm going to say a little bit about Clue 2. So if you don't want to know, we'll call you back. But I was kind of right. What we're going to do is do another repeat or two of this reversible cable pattern, and then we are going to graft this together. And what I can tell you, Laura included in her, now I can Kitchener, I don't need the directions anymore. I've done it so much for socks, I'm pretty good at doing regular Kitchener stitch. But she suggested that we do this in pattern, which is essentially is rib. I've never done that. I didn't even know you could. I thought it was the same thing. So there is a video on Craftsy by Ann Hansen, and I think it's called The Ins and Outs of Grafting. It's a free Craftsy class. If you haven't signed up for that, you should. It is wonderfully, wonderfully done, and she so clearly explains and really makes it very easy, not only to graft in pattern, but she really explains why you're doing what you're doing. And when you understand that, you will be able to graft off in any pattern. And I'm sure I can't explain it as well, but when you're doing a regular Kitchener stitch in stockinette, you know you purl through to prepare, and you in the front, and you knit through the back to prepare, and then in the front you knit off, and in the back you purl off. It never really, I just did it. I memorized this stitch. I had it written all over the place, and I just did it. And once you memorize it, you memorized it. You never understood why. And in her Craftsy class, Ann Hansen really explains why, and it made total sense. And once you do that, it's very simple to bind off in any pattern. And essentially, when you're talking about just stockinette, when you're Kitchenering the toe of a sock, when you hold the two pieces like this, one is on one needle, one is on the other needle, the stitch, and again, we're just talking stockinette, the stitch that's facing you is a knit stitch. The stitch in the back is a knit stitch on the opposite side, but that's not the one you're looking at. You're looking at the purl side of the stitch. So you want to pull that off in purl. And the front stitch that you're looking at, that's the knit stitch, you want to pull that off in knit. So if you understand that, when you go to Kitchener something in rib, let's say it's knit one, purl one. You're going to purl the first one and knit to prepare the second one. Same thing. Then you knit off and you purl off. The second stitch is a purl stitch in the front, and you're looking at the knit side in the back. So you want to knit to prepare and purl it off because it's a purl stitch. The back stitch would be on that side a knit stitch, so you want to purl to prepare and knit to take the stitch off. If I've made absolutely no sense whatsoever, at least you get the concept of, even though it's the same stitch on the outside, it's different from the two sides that you have paired together. And if you watch that Craftsy class, she will make it extremely simple, very understandable, and you will never again have to worry about Kitchenering a stitch. I mean, I know people tremble when they hear that word Kitchener. You never will again once you understand why you're doing what you're doing. You can memorize it, you can have a little card, but if you lose the card, you don't have it, you're stuck, this will do it for you. You will never have a problem with that again. So that is really all of we're done with that. That is all of my lack of progress on my knitting this week. And that's really all I have. Like I said, I've been a bit of an overwhelmed slacker this week, and I apologize. But I did want to get this out there. I'm trying to think. Oh, our contest from last week, we only had I think 1 or 2 entries from it. So what I'm going to do, in the contest was for this skein of Socks That Rock in the medium weight in the Raspberry Mousse colorway. So what I'm going to do is I am going to leave this up for another week. And what I had asked, the prompt was to tell me, what are your favorite festivals? And I realize some people don't get to go to festivals, or maybe don't have festivals in their area. So you can also just tell me, what would your ideal festival be? What would you, because we don't have too many country fair festivals. And if we do, I don't know about them. So I would just love to have a festival in my area, which is all homemade pies and homemade jams and jellies, apple butter, which, thank you very much, Amy Beth of the Fat Squirrel. who got me to try making my own apple butter last year. Your recipe was fabulous. It did come out great. It was amazing. But all I can say is I tried to make this apple butter and I thought I had enough apples, and I must have peeled and chopped and all this business, and I was using one of those food things with the holes that you turn the handle and all of this and that. I made a mess. I mean, just a mess. There was apple peels and apples everywhere. It was dripping. And here I thought, all right, well, no problem. I'll get like a dozen jars of apple butter, and it'll be great. It'll be worth the mess. It'll last me the whole winter. Two teeny jars of apple butter. Here, all of my friends and family are all expecting these jars of home canned apple butter, and all I have is these two pathetic, it was like the smallest jars, mason jars I could absolutely find. But that has not deterred me, because this year I want to go apple picking so that I can make a bigger mess and hopefully more apple butter, because that's one of the only ways I can actually eat apples, is if it's really, really well cooked. So, Amy Beth, if you're watching this, I would love to know how many pounds of apples that you used, because obviously what I had was nowhere, and I thought I was going to have tons of this stuff. Didn't have tons of this stuff. I had two little teeny jars. They were good, but let's go for some more this time. So at any rate, that's it for today. I'm surprised it actually got this long. I will try to put in some pictures of the excavation that went on here, just because I don't even believe it myself. Hopefully I will have, hopefully Tuesday, an unboxing video so that I can give you a preview of what will be coming up October 1st. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and as always, knit with sense.